Hello guys, welcome to today's market review session with us here at EasyFX Academy. We have this session every Monday, 2 p.m. West African time to just have a sort of review of what exactly we expect from the charts during the course of the week. And without further ado, we're just going to go straight into the content. Let's start from gold. I will be starting from the daily time frame though. If you're confident what gold has been, the type of moves we've been seeing on gold for the past couple of weeks. You see that gold basically hasn't, should I say, hasn't gotten itself. But overall, let's see what we might be. Let's see what we might be able to pull out of gold from the higher time frame. So I deleted something on C. Okay. All right. So let's just have this down. Gold basically is the only one that I most likely would probably be dropping towards like the 1 hour time frame for. I need the line chart for this. Let's just have maybe something like this for the meantime. Right. So the reason why I'm drawing this line basically right now is because I do believe we might still get to see some buys on gold during the course of this week, at least earlier, the earlier days of the week. So give me a minute. Right, the earlier, the earlier days of the week. Overall, I'm still expecting sales eventually, but this is basically my most preferred sell region or POI between 4181.37 and 4145.52 for the possible sales on gold. So I'm expecting something like this to this. Possible buy continuations though for the buy sell, for the buy trade rather. Let me go to the 1 hour time frame, maybe the 30 minutes time frame. If we are able to get, because definitely if I get to see the price breaks this high, then definitely liquidity would have been swept from the previous highs that came before it, and I still am looking towards that happening. But a very interesting trade might be for you to enter for a break and retest from somewhere around here. All right, so you might want to watch out for the break and retest for the buys, maybe around somewhere like here. All right, so you can take it up to the point where the supply, basically our supply zone basically starts from. Right, so you can watch out for the break above that region, the retest of the 50% of that region, which will be around 4089.89, and then you might be able to take your buys. But I hope that is clear for gold. I'm not going to take too much time on gold right now. I want to just confirm something. Another point I think I'll just be watching out for would be this eye. All right, if for example you're taking the break and retest for the buys, this might be a fair enough point for you to hold, take your profits from around 4127.77. That is somewhere I think I will be watching out for possible reactions, maybe a short sale also from there, but at least for your TP for the buys, I think that's still fair. If you are, if you have the risk appetite for it, you can hold it till price gets into this zone and then watch out for the sales. All right, but that's it for gold without taking too much of our time. Next up, let's do AUD card. Right, let's do AUD cards. So I think for the past couple of weeks on this guy also we've been fairly bearish. Straight away I can't see many regions that I think I'll be interested in. But let's start from the daily time frame to be as safe as possible, right? So, or maybe I should go to the 4 hour first, then I'll come back to the daily. All right, so just give me a minute. Right, so this basically looks to be our previous load I was taking out. All right, so if we're still going with the bearish bias, then this looks to be the last break of structure that we got to see as it was. So we had something like, let me see if I can draw it out here. This basically even looks, sorry, this looks more to me like just one leg, year to year. All right, then we're having year to year. That looks like just one leg to me. But all the same, let's see. I think for this, it will be easier for us to work with a field retracement tool to just give ourselves the most conservative approach or the most conservative entry we can get. Somewhere around here seems to be plausible for the sell continuation on AUD cards. Still far off, but still workable. Somewhere between 0.91882 and 0.91706 for the possible sell continuations on AUD card. All right, so I hope that is clear also. So I think let's work with that for the meantime. Yeah, let's work with that for the meantime. We might get short sell entries. Short sell. You might get short sell entries from somewhere around here. This is around 0.91465, but I would only be taking those sells from a scalping perspective, not necessarily as a swing trade. About that's clear for AD card. Next up, let's go to AD CHF. All right, then we'll do maybe AD USD, and then that'll be all for that'll be just be all that we'll look at for the look at rather for the AD pairs. So again, something similar. Yeah, this. I think we can take all of this to be just one leg. So, oh, interestingly enough, though, we've gotten the reaction from somewhere around here. So are we going to have a sell continuation should be our question, or the question that we're asking right now? Possibly. I think that's still quite possible. I think that's still quite possible. I want to be sure though, because the fact that this low wasn't necessarily um taken out by a struck body close tells me that there is sufficient rejection from here. And if that sufficient rejection is still, having its way, then it's very likely that we might get to see a break above here. But if at all we get to see a rejection, let me come to the 1 hour time frame. Was that the 1 hour? Yeah, so on the 1 hour time frame, if at all we get a good enough reaction from here for the sales, I think I will be watching out for possible sales from there. Right, so somewhere around here will be where I'll be watching out for possible sales, but I'll be very, very cautious anyway, because like I said, this is not this is not necessarily the clearest one yet. But yeah, somewhere around here will be my watch zone for the sales. 0.52, sorry, 0.52335 and 0.52218 would be the coordinate for that region. Something towards this end. Sorry. Alternatively, let's go back to the 4 hour time frame. Alternatively, we might get to see price give us a proper break above this region. But by the time that happens, or if that happens, rather, my bias would be turning bullish on ADCHF, especially seeing that we still have rejections here that haven't been met at all. Like price hasn't come back towards that region after that point. So that's it for ADCHF. Let's do ADUSD. Sorry, ADUSD. Then we'll move to, I think we'll do CAD JPY after that. So ADSD daily time frame, right? Daily time frame. So again, we've had, let's look at that on the, so we've had this trend line resistance, trend line support rather, that has been taken out or has been broken. Does that mean that we are going to still see the sales? Very possible. That's a very possible thing that we might get to see. So I'll give about two regions for us to watch out for on this guy right now. So this will be one. This is not something I feel like we might even get to see this week, but let's just have it down on the charts first, and then give me a minute. Right, and then 2 hour time frame. Give me a minute, please. Okay, that looks very obvious, and that's why I wasn't necessarily going to go for it, or I wasn't going to go for it rather. Jump to the 1 hour time frame. Right, so somewhere around here might be an interesting region to also watch out for possible sales. So we have two POIs basically. First one for the conservative trade will be between 0.65625 and 0.65422. All right, so we will be expecting the long buy, then get the sales continuation from there. Otherwise, we might get to see our sales from somewhere around here, and that's between 0.65024 and 0.64842. All right, so either one of the two will be points that I'll be watching out for possible sales on ADUSD during the course of the week. So that is clear. Next up, let's do CAD JPY quickly. All right, so CAD JPY daily time frame. I don't even think we needed to go that far, but daily time frame, we're still seeing strong bullish movements. From this guy. Still looks to be holding. Did the price get there? Yes, price did. So we had pivot region, so to speak. Yes, yes. So price gave us breakouts, came back, retest. Fairly strong rejection candle that we're seeing here. But let's drop to maybe the 2 hour, 1 hour time frame and see if we can find possible entries for us to work with. From what I see though, let me check on daily time frame once more. From what I see though, we might get to see a retest. I mean for the sells, right? I mean for the sells, we might get to see reaction for the sells somewhere around here. Somewhere around here. Right, somewhere around here. So maybe this to this, right? Alternatively, but if we're working the bullish bias, right, it's very likely that we get to see a break out of this point, and I just want to watch out. So this is not something that I will be so sure of, but at the same time, you can just have it at the back of your minds, right? So anywhere between 112.304 and 111.8 30 will be where I'm watching out for possible sales from. But that's just it, by the way, for CAD JPY. Let's do Euro AUD next. Give me a minute, please. Right, so Euro AUD. Sorry, apologies for that. I had to quickly check on something. So Euro AUD, Euro AUD daily time frame. Let's quickly do this. Very interesting though. We've had some very weird movements on Euro AUD for the past couple of weeks. Let's look at 2-hour time frame. I still want to work with the current bullish bias that we're seeing, but we have these sort of equal eyes here that price basically hasn't been able to touch at all. And right now, I think it would be safe for us to expect sales very soon. However, I think it's just be better for us to watch out for a sweep of those eyes first, and then we want to see ourselves. So possibly on the 4-hour time frame, I want to see strong, maybe either a strong rejection candle, after the breakout. I mean, after price clears that high or those highs rather, then we get to see the drop. But basically, this is sort of my bias for your AD right now. So I'm not going to be necessarily giving us a zone to work with. Yeah, yeah. I think that's fair. I think that's fair right now. So this is basically what I'm looking out for on Euro AD currently. Next up, let's do Euro card. Actually, we might get to see something similar to that because we have, something similar to what we just saw on Euro AD. We have this sort of other block sitting around there, but all right, but that doesn't look like something that would still hold overall. So we might just watch out again, just like we just said for that one, something like this. So basically the supply region as it was is between 1.63107 and 1.62804. But what we're expecting is for price to clear liquidity, take out that eye, then we should get to see a sort of sell, or the sell rather from that point. So how that is clear also for Euro card. So for Euro AD, let me just quickly call out the coordinates for that, sort of the equal eye liquidity that we're seeing there between around 1.79347, and for Euro card somewhere around, maybe just somewhere around 1.63107. So once see the high being taken out, and then we get to see our drop from there. So one more Euro pair, or maybe two, because definitely we have to do Euro USD, right? So Euro GBP, interesting. Okay, I'm guessing this was from our last session. So that buy seems to have giving us some good movements, but we're seeing a fairly sharp drop right now. So let's see, we might be able to get in for more buys, maybe because the thing right now is we didn't get to see this high yet taken out, right? We didn't get to see the high being taken out. So possible re-entries, easily we might just want to pop off on the lower time frame and work with somewhere around, I'm seeing one You know what? Let's use our fib. I'm seeing one region, but I don't see if it coincides with, you know, what we just saw for the fib. This sort of a bit is, it is actually. So somewhere around here, we might want to watch out for possible buys from there. All right, so between 0.87896 and 0.87850. So at the very least, I would expect you to, you know, actually practice like some serious risk management on this. I would be expecting price to continue bullish, but at the very same time, let's see what exactly happens when price gets there first. So for me, beyond the fact that I've seen that region, I might just want to watch out for lower time frame confirmations before taking that trade. All right, so at least I'll be a bit safer and I'll be able to refine my entry to give us a little, or give me rather a bit more accuracy. That's it for Euro GBP. So let's do Euro USD also. I think this was from last week too. We had this very simple break and retest into the region, into our supply, and then we had the drop from there on Euro USD last week. So let's see, what shall we then expect? So this region seems to be very interesting because see if there is an extension beyond, around here. And there sort of is, but that's not something that we'll concern ourselves with right now. So we have fairly strong resistance sitting around there. All right, and price basically is there right now. So are we going to see, a solid drop? I think we should still get to see the solid drop though. I think we should still get to see the drop play out. I want to check. I'll prefer to work with, okay. All right, so I think from what I can see on the 4-hour time frame, this seems to be, well, watching out for possible buys from the 4-hour time frame at least. So let me go back to the 4-hour time frame, just make sure that I marked that out as well as possible, as cleanly as possible. So I think that's something I would work with for the meantime. So we might get to see, something like this, and then something like this. Buy zone, or the buy region will be between 1.15163 and 1.15014. All right, that basically is what I'm going to be watching out for buys on Euro USD right now. If at all we're going to get the buys. Overall, I'm still sort of bearish on this guy because, again, like I said, we've had strong resistance from here, and I think we might still get to see that continue during the course of the week. But let's see what exactly and how exactly that plays out, this week. So that's Euro USD. Next, let's do GA. Well, no, let's do GJ. I've not looked at GJ in quite some time. Okay, so GJ, let's start daily time frame. All right, so we had space. Okay. So this looks so. Let me see the candle there yesterday. So this looks to be a situation where we sort of had price breaking above. We've seen some level of retesting inside the region, but I do not believe that this retest is sufficient enough to take price, further than where we are right now. Right? I do not believe that that's true. That would happen. So I think I might be watching out for possible sell continuations on this guy, on GJ rather. So I do not. Let's see. Let me check on the 2-hour time frame. I was going to give us a zone directly, maybe somewhere around here, but price basically is already there, and I'll see the possible reactions still. So two scenarios or two things I would advise you to watch out for on GBP JPY right now. Number one is for a sweep of this high, right, and then we get to see the sells happen after that. All right, so you can just enter your sell if you're able to get the 1-3, 1-5. I think that's still quite fair. The sweep of this high first, and then we'll get the sales. Alternatively, you might want to watch out for a sell from already where we are in. All right, right. I feel like that is a more rushed sell. All right, I think that's just, I do not feel so confident in it as much as I'm confident in, the sort of sweep and then drop from there. So that type of thing is basically what I'm expecting right now on GBP JPY. Point I'm expecting the sweep from is around 206.855. Now I know that some people in their minds right now I might want to ask why exactly I'm not picking this as a valid order block. Now, in terms of overall directional bias that we're seeing right now, this guy is giving us bullish movements, right? So I would not want to pick a bearish order block in a bullish movement. I don't know if that makes sense to you, right? So that being said, you can still watch out for short retracements that might happen during the course of the week. That's why I'm watching out for the possibility of us having price breaking above this high, then we get to see a sell. Alternatively, 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 re-entries for the buy. Let's say if we might be offered one. I do not feel so. No. This one looks to have played its part and then moved on. Let me mark it just for. Let me just mark this area. But it sincerely looks to have played its part. But basically, I won't be working with this. Is what I'm saying. So if you have the risk appetite for it, I think it's not bad between 206.211 and 205.812. But for a preferred entry, I want to watch out for that sweep of that high, then the drop from there. Right, so that is clear for GG. Let's do GU next. After GU, we'll do after GU. Let's go to the USD pair, like the USD card and USD JPY. Right, so let's do GU quickly. Daily time frame. 4-hour time frame. Okay. I believe we should then get to see similarities between what we're expecting on GU and what's this other guy's name? GU and EU. Right, so let's see the possibility of us still having price still pull up a little bit towards this end here. I think I marked this out last week. Price basically didn't get there. But with the current movements that we're seeing, I feel like we should get to see that push happen during the course of the week. Somewhere around here would be POI1 as it was 1.33679 and 1.32920 for the first POI. For the second POI, let's see it on the daily time frame again. Okay. I really feel like this zone has so much potential. So I'm just going to keep that at the back of my mind anyway. But for your second POI, there isn't one that I'm saying that is so clean. That's basically why I'm not going to be calling anyone. Right. So but for GU from the swing perspective, I think this is a very good place for you to wait out for sales or watch out for sales from rather. From the lower time frames, you might be able to jump and get some fair enough buys. But for me right now, I will just watch out for that and be safe. All right. So next up, let's do USD card. We'll do USD card and maybe then USD JPY, and then we'll be calling it a session. Right. So USD card daily time frame. Unfortunately, I missed this trade. And now that I'm looking at it on a daily time frame, I can see it very, very clearly, actually. But all the same. Let's see. So for whatever reason, let me check. It's not say we have one that is so strong there. Let me check it on the daily time frame now. So okay, I've seen basically the culprits. All right, so somewhere around here. I'm sorry, give me a minute. Somewhere around here. Right, somewhere around here, we have a lot of reasons for price to actually drop from. Or at least based on the way I trade, I'm seeing reasons for price to actually give us a drop. We've had this rejection, we've had another strong rejection candle, but very likely from what I'm getting to see right now, these eyes also will be taken out. This eye rather, not so shall be taken out. You get what I'm trying to say, right? So maybe it's something towards this end also is what I'll watch out for on USD card right now. All right, so if at all I'm going to be going in for buys on this guy right now. So basically for the sales, all right, watch out for the sweep of that high between one and then you can get in for your sales from your own lower time frame confirmations. But the eyes are around 1.41403. For possible buys, I think I will be very cautious to I'll be very cautious to maybe just watch out for somewhere around here. A little bit too obvious, yes. But I think let's just see how that plays out. If at all we get to see possible buy entries, I think that would be a fair point to watch out for the buy entries from on USD card between 1.40718 and 1.40391. All right, so that is clear. I'm still seeing one more in a region, but it's a bit far out, and it's not something that looks so strong. Somewhere around here. That is around 1.40006 and 1.39888. It's very, very far out for the buys. All right, it looks too far out for me. That's why I'm not necessarily going to be so keen on working with it. But all the same, I've just called it up just in case, um, get to see price moving that far out, so between 1.40058 and 1.39888. All right, so last but not the least for today's session, USD JPY, USD JPY, USD JPY. I feel very strongly that we're going to see the exact same thing that we just saw on EU card right now. So daily time frame, again. Ah, interesting. One, two. Okay, that's it. So I'm going to mark this out first one, which is here. Right, then 2 hour time frame here. Drag. Sorry. So let's see, let us see. So I want to first get a possible buy entry or buy re-entry, because I still believe we might get to see at least another sell this week on this guy. Something similar to what I said again. But I think for a year, let me see something on the 2 hour time frame quickly. So I'll pick this as so the points that I'm working with. So I'll see a sweep of this high here, right, for possible sales. That's around 157.689 for the possible sales. However, for possible buy re-entries, I think price already has used that one also. Yeah. So I don't think I'm watching out for possible buy re-entries right now, but for the sales, anywhere around 157.689 will be where I'll be watching out for sales to start from. All right, so we might just get to see another sweep of that high, and then we get to see price drop towards the downside. With this years of mine, I hope you've gained quite a bit of knowledge from this session. I hope you have, or at least you're a bit more well informed as to what you should and could do during the course of the week. I'd advise you, as usual, to practice proper risk management and work with also your own entry confirmations for any trade you are going to be taking. Trading is a risky venture, and I'd advise that you should be very, very prepared to take the risk, all right, and to bear the risk, all right. So I'm very sure we're going to have a profitable week anyways. Catch you guys in the next one. God bless you and bye bye.